My name's Christian Paronto, and my call sign was TANTO. And I was with the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. I was in Bravo Company.
Name's John Tiegen, former Marine. Did 4 years with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines.
My name's Mark Geist. My call sign's Oz. I was in the Marine Corps for 12 years. I was in Benghazi for about 30 days when the attack happened that night.
Hey everybody, this is Jack Silva. Jack. It's our 3rd contract together, so he knows the drill.
We had the DB, former Marine, Jack, who was a SEAL, and then Roan, he was a SEAL. It was a good crew. 13 Hours just tells the minute-by-minute story of what happened that night. Try to get what we all did and what we went through.
We as a team decided that the story that wasn't being told out there was what actually happened that night, and so we felt compelled to make sure the story gets out there the right way. It's not about the politics, it's the story of what happened on the ground.
GRS stands for Global Response Services. We're mainly used in high-threat areas.
We are the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency, and we just provide protection in austere environments.
Hey, we're coming in, we're on property! Is Chris inside? Is he still inside? Get down!
All of us were former military, Spec Ops guys or Marines. You're working with some of the top guys in their respective services.
13 hours was how long we were in the fight that night.
The state guys, we just heard them on the radio say, hey, if you guys don't get over here, we're all gonna die. And we just kind of looked at each other and said, we gotta go now.
None of you have to go. But we are the only help they have.
Americans help Americans overseas, especially in areas where there wasn't any military support.
We had to go, no matter what. Damn the consequences.
Got some wind, here we go. Let's roll.
Our director, Michael Bay, he's been very respectful to us, and he's taken this seriously, and he's got us involved.
Michael has that vision of what he wants, and he's doing it in a way so it's as accurate as possible.
Ready, and go. You won't touch.
My teammates did so many amazing things, and it's a story of the battle. It's a story of a lot of sacrifice that went on. It shows that there's still guys out there that are willing to sacrifice their lives for others. You know, they put others before themselves.
Very good. Got it. Beautiful.
I'm totally and utterly honored to meet you guys. I mean, a lot of actors, but hey, I'm totally honored.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you guys do, you're heroes, 100%. What I saw yesterday is incredible. Wow. At what point did you decide you want to write this down, tell your story? Like, how did that come about it?
You know, I was injured and sitting in the hospital, and then, you know, the politicians here in America and the media here had taken this story and started and spun it to their own needs. And forgot really what happened on the ground that night, the 4 Americans that died, and to honor them. And it really got us frustrated. We started talking. These guys were still working, and we just kind of come together and said, you know what, we need to tell the story. And if we talked about different platforms, and you know, had we went just to the talk shows or something like that, they were going to spin it again. And the best way to put it down where it wouldn't be changed and it's ours is put it in print. And, you know, luckily we were introduced to Richard Abate. He was our agent, and, you know, from there, this is where we're at. It was great.
Steamrolled. Ditto. I couldn't say it any better.
That's my line.
Ditto.
You took one of his 5 words.
Ditto-ish.
So, how happy were you with the product when you saw it, with the end of
I was very happy with it. You know,
He would have been happier had he got to play himself.
I mean, I asked, but
yeah,
of course.
Seriously?
But then they realized they wanted people to actually go watch them.
There we go. But it seemed putting the 13 hours into 2. Of course, you've got to condense a lot of it. But when I walked out of the theater, you know, I felt like I'd been back there, and I did feel very empty because the emptiness was I had missed the job. I wanted to go back. I could have jumped on a plane and went back immediately. So, and that was the reaction I was hoping for. So it was a hurtful reaction, but an emotionally draining reaction. But that's what I wanted to get out of the movie. If I didn't get that, then they wouldn't have done it right. And they did get the action. And people that go see 13 Hours of Secret Soldiers of Benghazi are going to be pulled back and see what combat is from our perspective, and being basically left behind and just relying on each other to get through. And they're going to feel that. It's going to be, I'm going to use your line again. They're going to get punched in the gut. Is that right? I used that one. But yeah, it's going to feel like they're just going to feel terrible when they walk out, but they're going to feel positive as well, because they're going to see that guys never quit when they're faced with adversity.
I mean, you just said it very clear. You didn't have to go and do it. I mean, what goes through your mind in that split second of the decision you have to make? Like, what? I mean, you have family at home, whatever. Like,
Well, I
what
mean,
goes through your mind?
you're not thinking about your family at home, really. I mean, all you're thinking about, you got to go over there and save these people who need the help. I mean, if all of us are a lot of guys still in the military and contracts. I mean, if you know somebody's in danger and you can go and help and possibly make a difference, even if it costs your own life, you're going to do it. Why we do it, we don't know. We're just those guys that run towards the fight and not away from it.
I teach guys that you don't think about family. Don't think about what you're losing. When I used to train guys to do this job, so if you're going to think about, hey, I'm going to die here, I'm never going to see my family again, you will. So you just train yourself to put that out of your head, and it's our job. Let's go, and we got to go help our brothers.
How do you prepare, like you just said, you train yourself, how do you train yourself for the mental distress you're going to be dealing with for your life long after?
That's what's good about having like drill instruction sergeant. They just thrash the crap out of you.
The old I agree with you. My first day of basic training, my drill sergeant came across and just KO'd a guy that was talking back to him. New York City guy. You do it helps. That hard training that you go through, and it is training. It helps you when you get in these situations, because you know how to stomach when you're looking at a roof and you're seeing your four buddies up there, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. And you're able to fight that off. Say, okay, get out of that headset. We got to keep fighting. The only way you get through that is through getting through that hard training.
Now, with all the mad gun people in the world, specifically in America, but I mean, what is your own feeling about that? I mean, we're living in a complete threat everywhere, so what is your feeling about that?
You just got to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. I deal with it through my faith, and faith, trust in your friends, in your family, and the guys that you work with, and you just got to, whatever comes up, you deal with it and you get over it, and you drive through it.
I want people in this world to they're always worried about the terror, and these bad people have guns, and there's people like us that are standing behind you in a grocery store too.
Yeah, we're not going to pull out the camera.
No, we're not pulling out the camera phone. They're going to film it. We'll step in the line of fire. So I want people to think that, and they're going to get that out of the movie. They're going to see that there's guys still like that. We're going to run to the gunfire. It doesn't need to be battle. It can be at the local grocery store. So I want people to don't worry about that. There's a lot of us guys out there that are just living our lives, but we will get in the middle of it and make sure you get home. And if we die doing it, well, then we still die. Just because we're out of the combat zone doesn't mean we're not doing what we believe we need to do, and that's the right thing, which is saving others, really.
Mm-hmm. I hope you stand behind me in the grocery store.
And then I'll stand in front of you if something happens.
All right, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Total pleasure to meet you guys.
Yes, it was a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for telling our
Thank
stories.
you.
Nice meeting you.